everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be talking about my second half of my adolescent years. Because YouTube apparently has a limit on how long I can make videos, so my story is going to be a million videos long, sorry. And by the way, it is Eating Disorder Awareness Week. So it's perfect that I'm sharing my story. So we left off with me leaving Remuda Ranch. And I was in recovery for about a month before I started slipping back into my old ways. I didn't just like full-on relapse right away. I kind of just started cutting corners, and before I knew it, I was back to where I was. And my parents placed me inpatient again. This particular place 3 times, another place another time, and another place I don't even know how many times. So it was just like a vicious cycle. Like, I go to treatment, I usually end up getting tubed, and then I'd go home, and I'd relapse, and then I'd end up back in treatment, and I just wanted nothing to do with recovery. I just longed for when I could be 18, and I wouldn't be forced into treatment, or I couldn't be. Boy, was I wrong about that. So that pretty much sums up my adolescence. I turned 18, and shit really hit the fan. I started refusing to go to the hospital. Sorry, my phone is going crazy. I started refusing to go to treatment. I started skipping appointments. It just got really bad. My weight got really, really bad. My health was really bad. My potassium would be in like the shit tanks, and it was bad. So my one doctor's appointment, my doctor told me, she's like, you can either get a PEG tube, which is a tube through your stomach to do feedings, or I'm going to make you like do some paperwork where like they make you go to the hospital. So of course I opted out for the feeding tube because I didn't want to go to the hospital and I wanted to stay home, and I thought she's not going to know if I do the feeds or not anyway. So I did that. I probably had the tube for about 3 months, and I was just getting sicker. I was just being manipulative, and things were not going okay, and I was still refusing to go to the hospital and still refusing to go to treatment. So it came down to the point where my treatment team, my therapist, I had 2 therapists, my case manager, my primary care doctor, my psychiatrist, I think I didn't have a dietitian at that point, all took me to court to get me appointed a medical guardian. And I went, and I fought it, and I lost. So 18-year-old adult, except I'm not really an adult because I don't have any rights when it comes to my medical decisions or living arrangements, whatnot. And I was beyond infuriated. Like, infuriated doesn't even describe how I felt. I felt betrayed by my team, when in reality they were just trying to save my life. I felt hopeless. I had gotten a full ride scholarship to a school in the pre-med program, and I couldn't go there. anymore. They said they would defer my scholarship for a year because my BMI was too low, that I was a liability to live on campus. So I felt like I had nothing to live for. I wasn't allowed to dance. Sorry, my phone's going crazy. I was miserable. I managed to stay home probably for a week or two before I went to my doctor, and my new guardian met me there, and I was sent from there via ambulance to the ER. My potassium was dangerously low, and I was transferred to Boston and put in the cardiac ICU for a month and a half. I had a one-on-one, so they knew I wasn't messing with my feeds. Everyone was convinced I was gonna die. It was just like they just were waiting like a matter of time, and miraculously I didn't. I was then transferred from that hospital in Boston to another hospital in Boston to a medical psychiatric floor that had a doctor there that specialized in eating disorders. Supposedly, I really don't think he did, because he was not helpful and said things to other anorexic patients that were not helpful. Like, oh, he said to one of my fellow patients that had an eating disorder, "How does it feel to be the largest one here with an eating disorder?" Like, what doctor that specializes in eating disorders says that? If that was me, I don't know what I would have done. Like, it was a really rough stay there. From there, they switched me because my tube got severely infected. They switched to NG, and most of the time I had to be restrained and sedated to receive feeds because I was pulling my tube out and I was shutting the pump off and doing a lot of other things that I'm not going to say in this video because I don't want to give tips or tricks if someone who's struggling is watching this. So it was long, and I think I stayed there for about 8 or 9 months. And when I got out, my medical guardian and the doctor there thought it would be a better idea if I lived on my own. So I got my own apartment right after my 19th birthday, and I was loving it. I was loving it, but it was also lonely at the same time, and I went home with a tube, which was embarrassing and hard to get used to. But I was loving living on my own. But at the time I didn't have a car, and when you live in New Hampshire, you kind of need a car to get places. So it was hard. I had to rely on like a lot of people, like especially my family, and I felt like a burden, and I don't know, it was rough. At 19, I had my first of 5 suicide attempts. I'm not going to say what I did because, again, I don't want to give ideas to people. It landed me in the psych side of an eating disorder place where I was for probably another 9 months. And I attempted 2 more times while I was there. I just was so miserable, and I did not see the point in life, and I thought everyone would be better off without me, and life was just, I just didn't see a future. Like, I wasn't in school, I wasn't dancing, didn't have a job. Like, I just felt really, really hopeless. And yeah, when I got out, I started trying to make a life for myself, like, outside of all of this. So I'll explain that and my adult years in my next video. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel so you know when there's new videos, and I hope you guys have a lovely day. Bye!